Everyone, good afternoon to everyone around the world, wherever it is you are watching this this broadcast. My name is Mike Davids. I was a pastor with Omega Fire Ministries of Apostle John Suleman, Auchi, Edo State. I was in that ministry as a pastor for 16 years because I met Apostle John Suleman in 2003. I have a proof to that effect of the letter, that he sent to me July 3rd, 2003. And I left the ministry 2019, which was last year, last 2 years, March to be precise. On account of certain things, that happened, which I would want the general public to know about. But the reason why I am mainly doing this video is because my life as I speak is no longer safe. I can't sleep. Sometimes I don't even have to sleep in my house. I had to just, move away because of so many things that happening around me, threats here and there, calls from unknown numbers, threatening my life, secondly, so that the general public will be aware that should anything happen to me, Mike Davids, so that the general public will know who exactly to hold responsible. I know my family has nothing. I know I am a nobody to Apostle John Suleman, but I want the general public to know that should anything happen to me, just in case you no longer hear about me, I want everybody around the world, from wherever you are watching this video from, to know that it was Apostle John Suleman that took my life. Now, what happened was this. I got married to my wife, Pastor Faith Unose Edeko. You can check that up on Facebook and you'll see it. Pastor Faith Unose Edeko. That's the name she presently answers now. I got married to her, in 2008, December 6th to be precise. After we actually courted for, or were probably in relationship, we're in relationship for about a period of 10 years because we knew each other in secondary school, and our friendship developed from there, until when we came out of school and all of that, we both, came into agreement to raise it, to start a home. But prior to this time, when I finished school, because I had met Apostle Suleman, and we started out, I was the first campus pastor of Ambrose Ali University, Ekpoma, Edo State. And when I met Apostle John Suleman, being that my wife also knew I was connected to him, so I established contact between the two of them so that he also would know her. And from that time, after meeting my wife, I noticed that, things were basically never the same. But although I didn't really put my mind to it, because as at then, he was somebody, I greatly esteemed, somebody that, I've come to love. And then, somebody I dear so much, and I saw as a spiritual father, because my father passed 3 months after my wedding. March 2009 was when my father died. And when I met Apostle Suleman, I was really not bothered because I felt that, I could have a father in him. But my wife had mentioned to me of one or two things, of his invitations of her to, to Benin, to Reliance Hotel. Those of you who know Benin, I don't know whether Reliance Hotel is still there. I think along Aduawa and all of that. Sometimes we will invite her over for, to pass the night with him and all of that. I really wasn't bothered because my wife was a virgin. You see, because I didn't, consider it as a child of God to have anything to do with my wife for that period of, time that we courted, because of the kind of home I wanted to build. So, and that was how it continued and on until we got married. I never, as a matter of fact, because of the way I saw him, I couldn't even imagine that because of my background from the Catholic charismatic renewal. That was where I was raised. So I couldn't imagine that, you could, if a father could have a daughter that he probably would want to, especially one that he knows that this was his son's, fiancé, that he would want to have something to do with her. So that was it, and we got married. And 2019, I was posted. 2009, I was posted to Osun State. Okay, I think 2010, I was posted to Osun State because I started out in Asaba. You can go to Asaba and find out I started out pastoring with Asaba, Omega 5 Ministries Asaba. It was myself and Pastor Gabriel who started that branch. Then from there, I was posted to Benin, Urubi, branch 2. Everybody in Omega 5 Ministries, they know me very well all around the world. They know me, Mike David. I pastored there for a while before Pastor Azeme, when I left, Pastor Azeme Azena, that was when he took over branch 2 before he became pastor of branch 1. So I was posted to Osun State. And Osun State, Omega 5 Ministries Osun State started exactly the year that former president of Nigeria, Yaradua, passed, and that was when the ministry started in Osun State. So after then, we had our first daughter, because myself and my wife were married. We got married 2008, December 6th. We had our first daughter 2009, November 24th, to be precise. That was when we had our first daughter. And between that November 24th and between that November, towards the end of 2009 into 2010, the idea for Celebration TV and Rema for Living, was being hatched and discussed, and getting it started, became part of the plan on ground. So my wife, who happened to prior to that time, who was a staff with NTA Erectmen, Apostle Suleman had to reach out to her that they would need her services, and support to build Omega Celebration TV, and of course, Rema for Living and all of that. So because of that, while we're in Osun State, she will have to, shuttle between Auchi and all of that, and back and forth. She was traveling and all of that. People who attest to all of this. All of these things I'm saying are not new to anybody in Omega 5 Ministry, especially those who were in Auchi and all of that. So that was it. And one of the days that my wife went to Auchi and came back, this was 6 months after we had our daughter, 6 months going to 7 months. She came back from Auchi to Osun State, and she called me privately. She called me to the room and said that 2 days after that she wanted to talk to me, and that her conscience was killing her over something, she considered too abominable to conceal. So, and I said, what was it? And she said that while in Auchi, that Apostle Johnson Suleman, lodged her in Uyi Grand Hotel. Many of you know Auchi, know Uyi Grand Hotel, and that he came there and slept with her. And in the moment he said that, the first thing, that came to my mind was about my daughter. And immediately I said, where was Michelle? Because that was the name of my daughter. She said to me that Michelle was on the bed, pushed aside, and I asked her a question. I said, you mean you slept with a man, but my daughter on the bed? Then I had to let it go, because there was nobody I could tell, and I could not fight Apostle Johnson Suleman. If I had mentioned it to my family, if I had mentioned it to her family, nobody would believe me. And if I sent her away, the question is, people would want to know what happened. And for the fact that she spoke to me of her own free will, I had to let it go. I forgive her. After about two days thereabout, I told her, I've forgiven you. And that was how we kept on. And the amorous relationship between her and Suleman continued. But one thing I knew was that my wife was hypnotized. This was not the woman I got married to, and I knew for over 11 years. So that was it. And eventually, the situation degenerated. And
hello, Pastor Mike. First of all, I bring you greetings from your 3 kids. I bring you greetings from them, Michelle, Great, and Gabriel. I just got a video trending online, and I thought it fit to reply you. It is me you have issues with, then I think you should face me. I don't know why you're fighting a man who obviously has done you no wrong and has no hand in whatever issues we both had. You have called on Nigerians over an issue that you already know the truth. I don't know why you're doing this. I don't know who paid you. I don't know what you want to achieve. But the only thing I'm going to say to you, haven't you done enough? Have you not destroyed this heart enough? Haven't you done the worst that any man could ever do? Have you not done? Aren't you tired of the too many things you've done to me? Aren't you tired? Aren't you tired of the things, the pain, the things that are too despicable that I can't even tell the word? Are you not tired? Are you not tired of plugging someone's daughter into pain? Aren't you tired? Are you not tired? You left me in Kano. You left me, you called me on a certain day and you told me that, yeah, you're going to leave the marriage. I thought you were bluffing. I called my people and they can testify. My mom is there. My brothers are there. My elder brother called you from UK. You told me you were leaving the marriage. My brother told me you were bluffing. I thought you were joking. Yes, I begged you. I remember I begged you. And then I got to the office, I collapsed according to what my principal said because I opened my eyes in the hospital. And that was where, because you had already threatened to take these kids from me as heard in the recording that I will upload if Nigerians need to hear it. I knew, why are you doing this? Why? Haven't you destroyed me enough? I remember asking you in that record, in that very day, I told you, I said, even if you borrowed my womb, you have done so much. You have done so much. And when I begin to tell Nigerians what you have done to me, the hell you made me pass through in 10 years. Mike, I have hidden this because of the respect I had for you as the father of my kids. I never ever wanted to drag you online because internet don't forget issues and I have children that I value so much. I know how this is going to affect them. I never wanted it, and so I allowed you to take your way and allowed you to have your way, whatever you wanted. If I begin to tell Nigerians the hell with evidences that you, Mike, has passed me through for 10 years, people are going to come out to do videos too because there are people who were first-hand witnesses to your maltreatment, Mike. They have that recording to show, and I'm going to upload it. I'm going to upload those recordings. I will call my brother now for those recordings you send them. You told them that I was going to crawl in the gutters, that I will eat from the dustbin. In your own words, you said that to my people. And I told them not to do anything to you, that you are still the father of my kids. Oh, Jesus. And then I picked the pieces of my life in depression. At some point, I had contemplated suicide. And it was my little boy who God used to rescue me that very day. I had written my suicide note. I had written it down. I bought a sniper because I couldn't fathom why I will live life this much pain. Are you not tired? Mike, are you not tired? I won't drag you. I am only replying you. I won't drag you because of my children. But if you push me, I'm doing this reply right now to you, Mike, please. You have done so much. It's enough. It's enough. And you left. I picked the pieces of my life. I picked it. Even when you told my mom that it is not in your house I will do international ministry. I preached the gospel even before I met you. I remember I couldn't face Apostle John, the same Apostle John Suleman you are dragging right now. I couldn't face him. I could not. I was so scared. You had this whole thing planned out. And I told my brothers that I was going to crawl in the gutters. I will not reply you, Mike. My people will reply you. Because they all know how you've treated us and how you've gone over these issues. You have recordings you sent to them. You had this thing all planned out. And like I said, this is the worst you can do. I will come out of this one, Mike. I am not hypnotized. I am not under a spell. I know exactly what I'm doing. And listen to me, you had all this planned out. We got married in 2009. We were given 2 certificates. And I was told by the church to return 1 certificate to the local government, and the other wedding certificate was mine. You took the duplicate that I was to send to the local government, and you came back, Mike, to tell me that that certificate got missing because you said you wanted to do a visa. I kept quiet. A year later, Mike, you came back to me. If I'm lying, counter this video. You came back to me and you told me that you need the original of a wedding certificate, that you want to do a visa. I gave it to you. You came back again, Mike, and you told me that you have lost it. And you... Mike, this is it. This is the worst you will ever do. I had to get into this car because I did not want my kids to hear nothing. I have always protected them. You have no conscience, Mike. You care about nobody. You have always been that way. You have no conscience. And listen, this is the worst. You told my brothers I would crawl in the gutters, and this is it. Walking out of me, taking your dowry, that was the last struck. Oh God, how much I cried. I begged you. Listen to me. This is the last you will do. And guess what? I will come out of this so scared. I was damn scared. I couldn't even approach Apostle Johnson Suleman. I could not even go to Omega Fire Ministries. It was people like Pastor Dan Okoje, people like Apostle Tenebe that took me and begged and told Papa not to throw me away. That I have a ministry. My life cannot end because of you, Mike. And then it took 1 year because before even Papa could hear me out, the same man you are accusing of what I don't know, the same man, it took him 1 year to even hear me. Papa was never aware that you left the house. This has nothing to do with Omega Fire Ministries, and you know it. Mike, you know it. And then the next hits you drew the last draw that broke the camel's back. You went to my people and demanded your bride price. Mike, I remember I called you. And you told my people, you went to my house, you went to my mom, and you guys demanded your bride price. In your words, Mike, you said you're not ready to judge to anybody. My mom asked that for 2 years, you never took care of your children. I am in the same Abuja with you. Mike, I am in the same Abuja with you. I am here with you. Instead, you will send bloggers to interrogate me. And the last Apostle Johnson Suleman sent for you. You refused to show up. You refused to go. You did so much that I am not going to say. I'm not going to say. I still respect you as the father of my kids. Mike, don't push me to the wall. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Don't push me. I respect my kids. I do. And I'm going to watch what I say concerning you. But please, do not push me to the wall. Thank you. If you still have a little conscience in you, use it.